Welcome to our weekly roundup of key economic and business developments in Sri Lanka. I'm Nishani Pigera, and here are this week's top stories. IMF in Sri Lanka for first review. President attends G77 Plus Summit. Eliminating SVAT push to 2025. In our main story this week, on Thursday, a team from the IMF arrived in the country as a part of the multilateral agency's first review of the extended fund facility provided to Sri Lanka. According to news sources, the island nation has met most of the IMF conditions, falling short of only the tax revenue target. A successful review is vital for Sri Lanka to gain access to the second tranche of about $330 million. The delegation will be in the country until September 27th. Meanwhile, prior to the IMF visit, Sri Lanka accepted bids to swap $10 billion of default domestic debt for new bonds, indicating a step towards completing the standards for debt restructuring. These bonds were mostly from superannuated funds, which were eligible for exchange. The government also revealed that the legitimate bids have been accepted for 84% of the total outstanding principal amount of eligible bonds. 100% acceptance of genuine bids from superannuation funds is necessary to reach the participation threshold. President Ranil Wickremesinghe is in Cuba to attend the G77 Plus China Leaders Summit. The summit, with the theme Current Development Challenges, Role of Science, Technology and Innovation, is a coalition of 134 countries. The Havana Declaration, outlining reforms and new strategies to strengthen collaboration among southern nations, is anticipated to be adopted at the summit. On concluding his visit to Cuba, President Wickremesinghe will attend the 78th United Nations General Assembly in New York, addressing the gathering on the 21st of September. Elimination of the simplified value-added tax was pushed to 1st April 2025, originally stated for January 2024, as there was much opposition for its removal, as exporters claimed that their cash flows would be impacted due to long delays, inefficiencies and misuse in settling VAT refunds by the Indian Revenue Department. The government now advises a gradual repeal until a reliable tax repayment system is put in place. SVAT allowed for exporters' imports of inputs to not be subjected to VAT. According to the Committee of Ways and Means of Parliament, Sri Lanka Customs has raised the need to impose a tax on the importation of digital content such as software. With Sri Lanka's tax revenue failing to meet its targets, Sri Lanka Customs had proposed such measures. As a result, the Parliamentary Committee had recommended that the harmonized system codes and a digital tax for digital content and services to be introduced. However, the committee had also recommended that the measures be taken after conducting a study of its impact on the ICT sector and also the best practices of other countries. In our weekly tourism update, during the first 12 days of September, 46,308 tourists arrived in the country. This pushed the year-to-date visitor numbers to over 950,000, 29% higher than last year's full 12-month arrivals. September is considered a low inflow month, as daily arrivals in September fell to 3,859. Arrivals from India continue to increase at a steady pace and are now at almost 26% of month arrivals. The cabinet approved a 700-megawatt solar power plant and battery energy storage system, proposed to be constructed at the Kilinochchi Lake. With the involvement of Australia-based United Solar Group, the total investment will be over $1.7 billion. This includes building 3 artificial islands to protect the lake from ocean encroachment. Now let's take a look at the weekly movement of the all-share price index and the S&P SL 20 index at the Colombo Stock Exchange. A significant development, the Securities and Exchange Commission approved a separate listing board and listing rules at the Colombo Stock Exchange for state-owned enterprises. The feature includes a stated capital of not less than 250 million rupees, net asset and market capitalization tests, 3 years operating history, among other requirements. At the Treasury bill auction held on Tuesday, yields on all maturities contracted. Bids amounting to 290 billion were received, of which 160 billion rupees were accepted. The Sri Lankan rupee was steady against the dollar this week, with central bank's indicative mid-spot rate ranging between 321 and 322. And with that, we wind up for this week. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel at the link below for more updates on economic and business developments in Sri Lanka. Until we see you again next week, thank you for watching. Stay safe.